Let's get into what made Herro's game so special, though. So here, this is the one that really got him going 3 minutes in. He gets Jabari Smith on him. Again, this little pullback here is pretty nasty. Just zooming back. I mean, that's tough. That's real tough to guard, guys. That's some suddenness. I think Herro has way more suddenness than what people give him credit for. We know that he can move really well off the ball. But I think on the ball, there's some real quickness. This is awesome. Just a quick little entry. And then he cuts. Knows that Şengün is going to have to step up here as soon as he cuts. This one to me is really on Fred. And I think Fred's been a really, really good defender. But as soon as Şengün steps up here, Fred can't follow Herro. Fred has to get out to the shooter here. Instead, he doesn't. Ends up being a wide open three. Great kick out from Herro, realizing that Fred was going to follow him. This one. Look, I'm going to call out some of the bad stuff with Herro defensively, particularly with screens. But I do want to say that, like, I think he's been a little bit better defensively this year. Like, I thought he was like really, really tough to have on the court at times the last couple of years. But there are moments this year where, like, if you get him on the right dude, like, look, he's like sliding with Jabari Smith here. Beats him to the spot, beats him to the spin, contests. You get the contest help from Haywood Highsmith. That's pretty good. And he goes to get the rebound. Been a really good rebounder this year, too. Still the first quarter. Just a quick little like ghostish kind of screen here. Again, kind of like the Reeves game that we broke down earlier. I thought a lot of Herro's best passes in this game just didn't get assists because guys missed. So a little ghost from Bam into a roll. Herro drives. I think he's just counting defenders here. 1, 2, 3. And then the fourth one here. The corner man is staying to the corner instead of shooting up to the wing up here. As soon as he realizes that, he knows he has the wing wide open. Shoots it up to the wing. Shoots it down to Rozier. Rozier just misses. That's a good pass. That's a really, really good pass. So this is one of the ones where Herro did catch a man. So again, a really good screen from Bam. Doesn't really even make contact, but just leaves early and kind of forces Adams to kind of open up a little bit. Amen gets back. And Herro just kind of beats Amen here. And then does an amazing job of using his shoulder here. To mess with Thompson's timing. Watch the way he kind of decelerates here as well. I'll get a better look at that. Let's see if we can rewind that again. Stops there. Amen kind of flies by a little bit. And that's a lot of separation, even for a great defender like Amen Thompson. I think Amen's been, if not the best perimeter defender in the league this year, certainly in the top 3. That's a really good play against Thompson. That's really good. Gets him stuck on the ground. Beautiful little shot. I think this from Mr. Ray is ultimately the key with Tyler Herro's game. Always does a great job staying on balance. Always on 2 feet. Always ready to play with touch. He plays through contact a little bit better than what I think he gets credit for. I think he is a Fantastic, fantastic scorer and continues to be one. This one, again, just beats Jabari off the bounce, right? So just look at the setup here. I wouldn't even argue that it's much of a setup, right? Like he just kind of goes between the legs and just says, I can beat this guy. Beats him. One hand gather here. Really, the one hand gather, in my opinion, is to make sure that Thompson can't get there more than anything. Goes up, finishes high off the glass. It's an excellent shot. That's 7 points now. Early exit screen. Great pass here. This one to me is more on Adams. I have not been particularly impressed with Steven Adams so far this year. To me, Adams has to at least give a little bit more of a presence here. I get it that Ware is coming downhill, but you have to trust that your defender on the backside is going to be there on some level. He just gave Amen no chance to get back into this play. And then he gets beat with Khalil Ware getting behind him on the play anyway. This is just, I love Steven Adams. He seems like one of the coolest dudes in the league. He could break me in half if he wanted to. But I have not been impressed with Steven Adams this year. Just haven't. This is one where I think you get an example really of the defensive stuff that I worry about with Herro come high leverage moments. Fred's going to miss this shot. But Herro kind of goes for the ball here, I think. And it results in him taking just an egregious route around this screen. He's all the way over here. And then having to route back into this thing. He's just nowhere in this play. Fred misses it. Fred's been in a weird prolonged shooting slump that I don't know what to do with at this point. But those are the things where against teams like Boston, the Cavs particularly, New York, if he has to guard one of Brunson or Bridges or somebody like that, that's where that stuff's going to come up. I still think it's not great yet from Herro, but the offense is so good that you have to have him on the court. So just a little down screen here. This one's just kind of a really good example of him playing off of 2 feet, right? I think Adams actually does his job here. I would like to see Amen slip even quicker onto Bam here. Herro's on plays off 2 feet, jumps right up, but he's still on balance. He still has his vision here. Sees that Amen's back is turned. He's able to go just left hand into Bam here. This is awesome. Bam with the easy finish. It's awesome. It's really good. It's not like it looks, like the smoothest, most fluid thing that you see, but because he always plays off of 2 feet and has his balance, it's easier for him. So this one, again, just a defensive example here, because really you shouldn't have to send help against Dylan Brooks. I would hope that, Haywood Highsmith looks back on this and probably doesn't love this. I can't imagine this is in their scheme. But you think that Herro here is just kind of getting buried, which makes the help rotation come. Again, Herro just not super strong. This ends up just being a quick Reversal here from Fred. It's a ball that should be a make. But then you get a little bit more of the creativity from Herro here in transition. I love this so much. Just this little pass fake out here. Watch Dylan Brooks. Whoop. Then he's going to go baseline. Recognizes that Fred's not going to be able to do a whole lot against him. Up and under. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Again, Thompson here. This time he gets fouled on it. This is like kind of the first example of why I think the officials kind of let this game get a little bit out of hand physicality wise. I'm for physicality. This is just a foul out front from a men. The first one. And then you call the second one where I think he got him clean up top. Like, I think that he actually does just block this ball. And I'm guessing that they're calling the contact on the body. But I don't know why you don't call the one out front, but then call this one. I'm just like a little bit confused on the officiating in this game. Great drive from Herro. Gets a men kind of off balance here to start, right? That little fake there in order to get downhill to his left. I mean, a men like clearly has to bump him here. He like has to hand check him like pretty full scale in order to slow him down. He recovers back, but yeah, it's a good play from Herro. It's a really, really good play from Herro to get by a men like that. Rebound, and now we're pushing with Herro. Third quarter. Just absolutely cooks Fred. This is not what Fred particularly excels at on defense. Beautiful little setup here with the shoulders. Hesitation, crossover, bam. Now we're downhill. Blows by, ball pickup. Pickup is still probably a little bit farther from the rim than what I would like to see from Herro, just in terms of consistency as a finisher, right? Those longer pickups typically mean that if you have a longer defender, he's probably going to be able to cause you some issues around the basket. And that is really the one place where Herro has not been great this year as an offensive player. He's only made 51% of his shots at the basket this season. You know, this is a cross. He picks it up here. I would say he should take one more dribble down to here, and then he'll be able to stride it out and get all the way to the rim and be a little bit more of a consistent finisher. This one goes in, though. You don't want to, you know, harp on it too much, right? So here, Jabari Smith just kind of tries to fit this into a tight window. I see what he's seeing here. He's seeing that Fred's back is turned this way and that Haywood Highsmith is wide open. The reason that Alperin is over here is because Fred is, you know, this is a mismatch, and I think they want to get Fred out to Haywood Highsmith. This is just a good reaction from Fred. I don't mind this pass. It's a turnover, but I think it's like ultimately fine in the grand scheme of things. It's just a split second too late. But I see the vision and I see what he's going for. Just ends up being a turnover. I'm all about process versus results, really. That's the key here. This one, you know, you kind of get to see, like, it's not like Herro has like the tightest handle in the world. Does a great job just throwing this ball out. I love that. Throw the ball out there. Allow yourself to turn the corner against Şengün. Ball ends up getting a little high on him. You get this little screen here from Bam to kind of seal off the rotational defender. And that means Şengün's going to have to stick here. Kevin Love realizes that he's going to have this open, wide open, this laneway to be able to come down and get downhill. Gets fouled. Perfect. Again, Herro could have had like 10 or 12 assists in this game. I wanted to put this one on here because, look, he fouls him, but I thought this was actually a pretty good defensive possession again from Herro. Does end up kind of letting himself get high here, in part because I think he thinks he has the Haywood Highsmith help and because he just gets crossed up on some level. But up until then, it was like pretty okay defensively. I like how he recovers, just ultimately kind of gets himself a little bit too far with his shoulders out in front of his body here. Let's see if I can grab, or shoulders out too far in front of his feet. Right. Right when like Jalen kind of went into him here. It's like this frame right before that. But yeah, you know, look, he's going to get beat off the bounce sometimes. He was okay up until that moment where he got beat. I guess everyone is though, right? This one, some degree of over dribbling this year. I wouldn't say it's like aggressive. I would say it's way more in the games where Jimmy doesn't play. In the games where Jimmy doesn't play, he is just responsible for almost everything they do offensively. If Rozier doesn't have it, especially Rozier was pretty good last night, but like if Rozier doesn't have it on that given night, it gets real hard for them. This one, you know, probably just over dribbles a touch. Kind of tries to pick this ball up. I think as soon as he sees Fred kind of come in here, you probably just want to shoot that ball out to Haywood Highsmith a little bit quicker. Instead, he tries to like gather and go up. He's on balance. He just kind of tries to get him, just kind of over penetrates here to be, you know, it's more probing than over dribbling. Yeah, like it's more like it's over penetrating into the lane here to me. You know, he gets himself surrounded by three guys. He's still on balance. It's just, you know, when you're surrounded by three guys, it doesn't really matter if you're on balance if you can't make the kick out. Ends up being a jump ball. This one, just awesome relocation. You can literally see him just relocating to the corner early as this ball goes up. It's barely out of Kevin Love's hands here. Haywood Highsmith is diving behind an unsuspecting Jalen Green here. People wonder why Jalen Green, despite being an elite athlete, does not get more rebounds. Pretty good example right here. Jalen Green averaging 4.4 rebounds per game. Maybe don't just stand there and watch Kevin Love shoot a mid-range jumper that's contested. Maybe, hey, let's go get a body on somebody. Highsmith goes to get this. Easy kick out because Herro has relocated. Super smart, super effective. Let's get to a quick little note from Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money action. There are over 10 million members. Like I said a second ago, they invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks always puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. We are big fans of Prize Picks here. We absolutely love the app and what they're doing for the daily fantasy sports scene. Download the app today and use code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use that code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. This is the second one where I think men gets toasted here. So just split cut, right? Entry in. Herro goes away. Then as a counter to a split a lot of the time. You'll come around and flip this. Or Ware comes in, screens a men. The other thing that I think Herro does really, really well, I think he does an amazing job of coming off of screens tightly and making it really hard for the trailing defender. Like Khalil Ware is not a great screener, but because Herro comes off of this screen so tightly, a men gets clipped here. This is perfect. And just drills the shot. Money. I mean, that's the last bucket he scores against the men, I believe. And it's 4 minutes left in the third. So he didn't, like, a men didn't get cooked by him. I just don't know what happened there at the end. This one, I mean, look, like, I just don't think this is good defense, personally. Just allows Aaron Holiday to get all the way into the restricted area here. Kind of ends up quitting on the play a little bit. It's probably unfair to say full scale quit on it. But like, if this is a better player than Aaron Holiday, like he would play in the playoffs, this shot is in. This is just a made basket, right? And he goes to get the rebound. I love that he goes to get the rebound. Now we're going to start coming down the court. Goes, gets fouled with this quick gather. I love his quick gather game around the rim. I think it's really helped him draw more fouls this year. Herro this season, averaging 4.1 free throws per game, as opposed to his career average, which is 2.7. So just much better at that this year. But again, defensively, like there are concerns for him in the playoffs, as there have been for a while now. But he's also a killer. Like, I think everybody remembers his rookie year in the playoffs where he was just an assassin, right? So you have to have him out there. It's just you have to account for it on some level. Like, I would love to see this version of Tyler Herro in the playoffs. That'd be amazing to me. This version with the mentality that he has, like his fearlessness, his attack-oriented game, I would love to see that. That'd be amazing. Here, again, just kind of gets cooked on a screen, unfortunately. This one's a Steven Adams screen. I'm a little bit more willing to like understand that you think you're about to get destroyed here. But like Adams exits this early, right? And he just is already like full scale chase mode, pumping his arms, running downhill toward the rim, trying to get back in front, and never really does. But here we've got Thompson on Herro, doubling him. Fantastic vision from Herro here. They decided to put 2 on the ball. I think they put 2 on the ball largely just because they weren't real worried about whatever Khalil Ware was doing in this game. This is a really slick move here from Nikola Jovic, setting this little down screen, or not down screen. That's a, what is that? That's just going to be like a baseline screen. And Herro finds this open angle here. This is just a monster screen from Jovic. This is a monster screen. I love it so much. Great vision from Herro to find the shooter. Burks drills it. Perfect. If a team is going to put 2 on the ball against you, that's how you attack it. Shout out to Jovic for a beautiful off-ball screen. Nobody is going to ever, this is never going to be accounted for in the stat sheet. But this screen here sets up this entire play. It's the whole reason that they score on this play, along with Herro's vision. So here, middle ball screen, beautiful pass. Again, they're putting 2 on the ball here. This is not a tight pocket. This is actually like a fairly difficult pass, I think, to make. This is a high degree of difficulty pass, and Herro somehow finds it. This is an awesome pocket pass. This is really hard, and this is where, if you are going to put 2 on the ball, I mean, this is where Khalil Ware can be immensely effective, because he does have enough coordination and enough explosiveness to be able to get downhill and finish in these situations, even catching the ball that high. Perfect counter to the defense they're running there, and a great pocket pass from Herro. I mean, this one, again, if you're going to put multiple bodies on the ball, again, the suddenness to kind of separate there, create this much separation from Holiday, that's what sets up this screen. It makes Adams really commit out high here. That early little bit of separation that Herro gets, Adams has to commit here. And now Khalil Ware is downhill as a rim runner again, right? Dylan Brooks is going to have to tackle his ass to be able to stop him from getting to this ball. Perfect from Herro there. The suddenness, though, early to set up the screen is the thing that won't get noticed there, though, that is really the key to setting that entire lob play up. Again, quick vision. I think Herro's a really good transition player. Eyes are up constantly. Look where this ball is. Right in the shooter's pocket. Setting Jovic up. Momentum going toward the rim. This is fantastic. Great play from Herro. This one just beats Holiday. Just beats him. I like that little extended arm there, just to get that little bit of separation. And then he's downhill. Floater. Beautiful shot. Absolutely beautiful. Herro this year hasn't taken a ton of floaters, but he's made 65% of them in that like little mid-range area in the paint. Real touch on that shot. This one, again, just kind of gets beat. Holiday does a great job of angling him into this screen here. And I will give him credit here. I think he actually is engaged and stays attached here off the ball. In previous years, that has been a bit of a concern with him. It's just off the ball staying attached. But on this one, he does like a pretty good job staying attached here. The problem is that he just gets beat. And then once he gets contacted on that screen, he goes all the way out here. He's not super strong. That's the reason that bucket happens. This one, awesome contested rebound against Şengün. Absolutely awesome contested rebound here. Goes and gets it. And then we're just going to get into a quick little 2-man game with Bam here. This is one where I don't totally love what Şengün does defensively. He kind of steps back a little bit too far here, in my opinion, and gives him that early little ability to get back for this step back here to separate. Brooks does get back into this play, but I would like to see Şengün not step all the way back first and then come forward like this. Just allows Herro to get into rhythm, drills it. Perfect. Now we got a men on Herro. Forces the peel. Brooks ends up on Herro here. I love the vision here. Again, just look at this screen from Jovic. Beautiful wraparound from Herro. Great play from Tyler Herro. I don't want to take anything away from him. Again, these little screens here from Jovic are so awesome. Jovic is a guy I probably have to do a video on at some point. I am such a fan of what he does for Miami. I think they're so much better, it feels like, when he's on the court versus when he's off the court. Not only is like a dribble pass shoot guy at 6'10" or whatever, but like makes all the little plays and stuff. I love what Jovic does. Great pass, falling out of bounds, great wraparound, creates the angle there. Great play from Herro, but man, Jovic is sick. This one tries to attack Jalen Green to start. Makes sense. Jalen's been an okay on-ball defender. Ends up getting a switch. Amen gets the deflection here, gets it back out. Great closeout from Amen. Ends up being a weird foul call. Probably a fair foul call, in all honesty, because it's Şengün that ends up kind of raking down on the arms. This is just kind of a bad decision from Şengün, in my opinion. You have Amen here. You have Fred here. Just no reason for this. No reason. Now you've got the switch from Herro onto Şengün. Amen just flies at him. They put 2 on the ball. Great pass. Just misses it. Trying to avoid Şengün and mismatches as much as possible. Again, stuff like this is why I have more concerns about him in the playoffs than what I think a lot of Rockets fans do. I know he's been okay defensively in structure this year, but like teams will genuinely try to attack him more consistently in the playoffs than what they do now. And if you're forced to bring a second guy against NBA playoff caliber decision makers, they're always going to find this open man. It's just the reality. Dillon Brooks is where he has to be on some level. Actually, that's a lie. Dillon is not where he has to be. Dillon over pursues here, thinking the ball's going to Bam or to Jovic maybe. Really, Dillon should just kind of be in the middle of these two as opposed to where he ends up, which is like in this area. But a great pass here. Wide open 3, just misses it. And look, a big part of why the Heat came back and won this game, you can see the scores like 93-92, 94-93 now. Houston just had no answers offensively in this game. But Herro did. He had the answers. This one tries to cross over. Great contest from Amen. That was actually, I think, their last possession, really, where they guarded. Maybe not. Might be this one. No, they switched on this one. That's right. That was like the real last like matchup between the two of them before they got in that little fight. So yeah, I don't know what that was. This is just an insane shot from Herro. Completely ridiculous shot. Gets Fred on the switch, just beats him. Elevates over the top of him. He's just feeling it right now, guys. Like overall as a player, Tyler Herro is just straight up feeling it. And now we got Jalen Green. Just misses the floater, but look, the reason the Heat won this game is Tyler Herro doing what Houston couldn't do. And Bam. I will say too, like Houston's continual decision to attack Bam was insane, as I mentioned earlier. But Herro's ability to create shots was absolutely the biggest reason they won this game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Without Herro, no chance they win this game. And Herro's run has been amazing over the course of the year and deserves a ton of credit for continuing to improve. I'm interested to see like kind of what the selectors in the Eastern Conference do versus him versus like a third Cavalier. Like, does Evan Mobley make the team over him? Does Garland make the team over him? I would have Garland ahead right now, but I'll hear out a case for Herro. Does Franz Wagner get back in time? Because Franz definitely should be there over Herro. Franz has been unbelievable this year, but he's going to miss a lot of time. What do you do with somebody like Derek White? Do you put 3 Celtics on and Tatum, Brown, and Derek White? All this stuff will get sorted out, I think, in time, obviously. We'll see what ends up happening with Eastern Conference All-Stars. Herro's in the mix. I'd have him in the top 16 or so. LaMelo's another guy. I probably would have Herro ahead of LaMelo, if I'm being honest. I know LaMelo's averaging far more points. I just think Herro's efficiency is way better. I don't even know if that bears out statistically, but it feels that way in terms of turnovers, in terms of true shooting percentage, like maybe. So Herro's at 62.3 true shooting right now. LaMelo is at, let's see here. Yeah, 55.7. The turnover rate for LaMelo, it feels like, ends up being quite high. 4.1 turnovers per game for LaMelo versus 2.5 for Herro. Yeah. I probably personally would have Herro. I also think Herro is a better defender than LaMelo too, personally. So that's one name I would have ahead. I would have Herro ahead of. But I also don't know if you can put 2 Miami Heat guys on the All-Star team either this year. Trae Young is another conversation. Trae has been unbelievable as a passer and playmaker, even without the shooting, being quite as good as it's been in the past. Yeah, I mean, the guard picture in the Eastern Conference is fascinating right now. We'll talk about that more probably on Thursday this week with Bryce. We'll run through and talk through Eastern Conference All-Stars. Herro feels like he's somewhere in that like 10 to 16 range right now. If you put him on, I wouldn't blame you.